Hi Scorpio, this is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. Go ahead and click that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that you know when I upload your favorite content, because Scorpio, I create a new message every single week for Scorpio energy, and it will give you insight into the energy around you as well as provide the tools that you need to deal with it. You'll get future glimpses, you'll get understanding of the past. All of that will culminate in a very quantum reading where everything seems to be happening all at once, but will make sense at the end. Yeah, so welcome to Born Without Boundaries. You guys are here. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all your support. Just real talk for a second. I'm really blessed. I'm really blessed for all your support. I'm an astrologer as well as a tarot and oracle card reader. So I use tarot, oracle, and astrology to create these messages. So we can start out with the astrology. Pluto, which is your ruling energy in the sky, is in a lovely position for you guys because it's squaring the sun, which means it's breaking down the ego, but it's sextile to Jupiter, which means it's giving you that faith and optimism that you can do better, improve, work on yourself. With a square to the sun, it'll just be clear where those areas are. And where you could normally have been defensive, you will not be. The moon, however, is also in Scorpio, and that's amplifying this really beautiful energy now of self kind of rebuilding. I'm going to say it rebuilding because, yeah, there is a falling apart. And don't be surprised, especially for the first couple of days in this energy when the moon is in Scorpio, if you want to be alone more. It isn't depression. It's you allowing yourself the space that you need to get everything together and reevaluate and look at things and, break down, not in public, but as long as you're being honest with yourself, that's really all that matters. If I had to name this reading or this vibe anything, it would be True Colors, a song that I just heard playing outside my window, because it is your true self that you're going to really be exposed to right now, especially in that Scorpio moon that likes to hide so much, and it's so private with what they feel. They'll just gloss over everything. It's not the time to gloss over anything, and it's definitely the time to confront things. So some of you are having a really, really, really difficult time right now because you feel the breakdowns. That's because you've hidden from yourself for so long. That's what's happening, and you're just not allowed to do that anymore. Pluto's in a position that's not giving you a choice. I know, and I know control for you is everything. But is it? Is it? Or is it just what you have used to make yourself feel powerful, when in reality the power is in your soul, the power is in your intuition, the power is in your ability to heal and help others heal. The power is in your ability to reach and connect, to even through the worst situations bring light to the dark. Like, that's the true power. It is the low vibrational self that says control is the true goal. You're running from yourself. You're hiding from yourself. And this is definitely the energy in which that gets super exposed. And some of you are going to love this energy because you're ready and you're prepared to change. It's hard for a fixed sign, but this is all divine timing, right? So it's changing is how you want change. In other words, you're just looking for it. You want it, you need it, you're actually excited about it. And then there are the people who have, are going to really be ripped apart here because change is going to come whether or not you're allowing it or not. It's just, even Scorpios don't get to control Pluto. Pluto controls you. So ultimately when it says change has to happen, change has to happen. And if you are feeling really, really depressed or put upon or extra defensive, it's because you're not allowing the changes that want to happen in your life. And if you have felt for so long that your life isn't getting better, the universe is trying to make it get better. It's you're not letting go and you're holding on till your knuckles bleed and your arms get ripped off. That's what's causing the pain. That's what's causing the suffering. It's not the universe. It's definitely, are we connected to faith? The beautiful, beautiful blessing this week is that sextile between Jupiter and Pluto. That will make it so much easier than it's ever been for you to be okay with things not being under your control. You being open and interested in suggestions outside of you. But even in this energy, I will say this, true colors are going to come out. True colors are going to come out, both for you and I think it's more personal because of the way that Pluto is positioned and the way that the moon is positioned, but true colors are going to come out. Let's see how ready we are for it. Scorpio. Be generous of spirit. That's Leo. That's the sun. That means courage. So much courage this week. And it's not courage in the daredevil way. That's not even courage. Courage happens when you're afraid. Courage happens when you are in doubt and don't know the way forward. The foundation of courage is faith. Be generous of spirit is you have, first and foremost, you having the energy to be generous. You having the energy and you having the faith to connect in order to share. But what this card tells me is your focus now is forward. Then we have the miracles are endless. Cow spirit. And this is Taurus energy. A lot of great stuff is happening in Taurus energy as well. Mercury and Uranus are there figuring out just these brilliant ideas or plans. You're moving forward. You're actually, this has got something to do with work. You're like going at it when it comes to work. There's progress. Now, what does that mean? It could be that you're entering college courses. You're finally starting them up. You're starting taking them. If you've been building a project or working on something like your own business or something, this is when you like put everything out there and like launch everything. This could be that change, the change that you need in your foundation or to your foundation, however you make finances or you make money. This is also a sense of, I want to say good news, but it's good news that you've created. It's good news that you have driven because you're asking for the opportunities, because you're out there putting yourself out there, letting yourself be seen, letting yourself shine. The opportunities are coming to you. So what does that mean? It means the braver you are in this energy this week, the more you will receive. Haha. Isn't that the caveat? But that's the universe. That's the ultimate balance, the ultimate rule of balance. And this is it. The braver you are now in terms of having the courage to face yourself. Not being prideful, right? Taking criticism, being open to that, and yet still moving to the next step. That's how you'll move to the next step. And the abundance is ridiculous. And then we have time to let go. And this is Scorpionic energy. Time to let go is all about something has been bothering you. It's been gnawing at your heart. You can see it in the card. So what has been gnawing at your heart? Because what's been gnawing at your heart is what's been keeping you stuck. It's also what's been keeping you in a repetitive pattern that now you're willing to let go of. So this energy is a beautiful energy for people, anybody dealing with trauma. The only way you deal with trauma is to actually deal with it. You don't ignore it. You don't move on from it. You get through it and you walk through it and you suffer it and you feel it and you heal it as you realize that even when it's at its most painful, you can continue to walk forward. So you don't need that pain because you already have the strength. A lot of times we get addicted to pain as a Scorpio. Get addicted to pain because that makes us angry, and that volumizes our intensity, right? And that's what makes us feel powerful. But ultimately, that's not what power is. That's loss of power and being enslaved to your own pain. This is when you're courageous enough to face your pain and realize, I don't need you. My strength doesn't lie in this hype. You make me feel like a rush from a drug. That's what pain does. It gives you that rush of endorphins. You don't need that. You have the personal strength to be able to move forward using your brain, using your faith. So this is a wonderful time for the confrontation of and not just the confrontation, the letting go of the suffering from the past, especially financial issues. So where have you been struggling financially? Have you been struggling financially? It could be in different parts of your life, right? Maybe you're doing really well at your job, but you have a heap load of debt. This is the time when you're actually able to either really get things wiped out or like let it go, release its power over you so that you don't judge your life or yourself by your issues. Right? And it's not that everything's going to clear up magically. That's not the magic. The magic is the you, like the willpower that you have inside of yourself to realize, but you have no power over me. And even though you influence me and I have to pay this bill every month, that's okay. I'm not going to run from it. I'm not going to chase it because I've got this. I can do it. And in finding that ability to do it, you now take control over it. Time to let go. Time to let go of especially financial suffering. And a lot of that will also have to do with your need for financial prominence. Scorpios can really, really get to that point where they need pretty things around them all the time. Remember, the underworld is where all the diamonds are, all the rubies are, all the crystals are kept. It's wonderful, but it can get you stuck down below when in reality, the reality and the beauty of Scorpio is bridging the underworld to the land of the living. It's not staying down below. It's not staying there. So whatever those vices, especially those financial ones, things like overspending, etc., have really kind of consumed you without you realizing it, because you're just like, oh, this is fun. But is it fun that's actually helping me long term? This is where you'll be able to actually see that. This is the energy where you'll be actually able to realize, oh, I've fucked myself here, haven't I? Yes, I have. I still love myself. I still see how the world loves me. And now what am I going to do about this? And you'll find the solutions. Scorpio. DNA is here, which tells me that this actually comes naturally to you. And then Libra is here. A natural partnership. It's in your DNA to balance this out. This is the balancing out of who you are. The balancing out of aspects of yourself. And then we have Andromeda in reverse, Taurus in reverse, all showing up in the past. Aries in reverse, and Gemini in reverse. What does that mean? That's the season that we're in right now, right? We're in Aries, Taurus, Gemini season. We're in spring. And Gemini marks the end of spring. So this is talking about a change that happened in the beginning of spring in your life. It was a change. And I think it was a courageous change, but it definitely was a change that you didn't feel, you felt forced into. You didn't feel like you chose it. But now you're finding how to make harmony with it. And you're finding the blessing in it. So there is balance being brought into a situation in relatively short period of time. Now let's see what's coming out on the other side of spring. Go the distance. What do you have to carry through? Okay. Go the distance, come back to the edge, and orphaned. Give me a second. You're going to find, this is what these cards mean. You recently moved on from something. You're going to find yourself pulled back to those things in this energy. The reason why you're being pulled back to those things, those people, those places, is to realize you don't belong there anymore. It's your old self. But I feel you needing the physicalization of the experience. In other words, if you're letting go of a place, you'll actually have to go there to realize I don't belong here anymore. If it's a situation with a person, happy birthday, Michelle Sandegate. You're not going to, you have to be around that person to realize they make me feel lonely. They're not my people. You have to actually follow this through physically. So being in the presence of that person, being in the presence of that place. Maybe you were laid off during the pandemic and went back to your old job just to realize I don't belong here anymore. So what you're doing now is confronting those things that weren't completely finished. Because now you're ready to let go. You were pushed like the pandemic pushed everybody, right? Maybe somebody, a person pushed you away. You were pushed to move on. You weren't ready to move on, which is why your focus and your momentum wasn't all there. Your focus and your momentum is all there now. You've got the energy. It's like you've got the fuel in the tank. So now you're actually ready to let go of and be okay with the fact that this person never appreciated me. They abandoned me. I didn't connect with them as deeply as I wanted to or hoped to or thought I did. This job really isn't for me. It's just not. It's maybe I'm even successful here, but this isn't where I'm happy. Or I moved away. I had to move away. I had to move out. Now I'm in this new place. But you never really felt like the new place was your home. It'll start feeling like your home now because you'll go back to where you used to be and you'll realize how much you were actually ready to move on, but you just didn't know it. So this is when you really realize, because you're ready to. You now are emotionally ready to turn the wheel, turn on the ignition and drive, because your tank is full. Your tank wasn't full then. It's like you were running on fumes, you were running on empty. It's like you were being forced to drive a car that had no fuel in it and you had to push it to your new location. That's the metaphor. And now it's like, though my car is completely full, I can drive wherever I want. And what I'm realizing is, I don't want to go back. I just don't think that realization came to you, Scorpio, because you were forced. You didn't like not having the control. But the turnaround of this, the really beautiful part is that now you actually see. It's like you get it physically in your hand. It's been physicalized. Faith has been physicalized for you because you realize, holy shit, I wasn't ready. I went clawing and screaming, and did not emotionally let go. But holy crap, I really was never alone, was I? The universe, God, was on my side. And now moving forward, when I feel those pushes, I'm not going to resist so much. It's like that's the real gem that you take away from this energy, is realizing when the universe is actually working in your favor. Realizing that feeling, so that when you feel it again, you're like, oh, I know I'm going to be really happy with this. So you can get to happiness so much quicker. Let's go to tarot. Wait, no. I just want to pull this card really quickly for you guys. Own your divine power. You can't make this shit up, Scorpio. You can't make this shit up. We got 3 more cards on deck for you, too. Own your divine power. Replace codependent people-pleasing with assertiveness and empowerment. You're taking charge of your life at the perfect time. The road's never been so clear, and your tank has never been so full. Join me for tarot. The links are below.